Debbie Wasserman Schultz goes into hiding after major scandal erupts. Media is flat out ignoring it, by that conservative girl Politics US News from AdWorldNews.com. Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz just can't seem to avoid controversy. She is now embroiled in a major scandal, yet the media is flat out ignoring it. You won't see this story on CNN or MSNBC. We already know that Debbie Wasserman Schultz has no qualms about breaking the law. After all, when she chaired the DNC, she colluded with then-candidate Hillary Clinton to block Bernie Sanders from winning the Democratic nomination. We're not dealing with a stand-up citizen here. What Debbie's done now, however, takes the cake. Apparently, even when she was ousted as the chairwoman of the DNC on the eve of the party's convention, she did not learn that a reputation is a terrible thing to ruin. As new reports reveal, she's been up to her old shenanigans once again. Reputation, it was destroyed long ago. According to Fox News, a Florida circuit judge ruled Friday that the state's second most populous county violated state and federal laws by destroying ballots from the 2016 Democratic primary race, which Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz won. How convenient. Circuit Judge Raj Singhal decided that the records were wrongly destroyed because the law requires election offices to keep the ballots in federal elections for 22 months. Elections supervisor Brenda Snipes destroyed the ballots after 12 months. So why the rush to destroy the ballots? Well, they were subject to a lawsuit at the time Snipes got rid of them. Again, conveniency. Could those ballots have contained some incriminating evidence? No, I don't think so. That would have put Debbie Wasserman Schultz and her cronies away for election fraud. We may never know for sure, seeing as Snipes destroyed them, even though only a court order should have allowed their destruction, and they were evidence in a lawsuit. Well, she's just taking tips from Hillary Clinton, that's all. The lawsuit was brought by Tim Canova, the defeated Democratic primary candidate who sued the elections office after seeking to check for voting irregularities. He lost the primary race by nearly 7,000 votes to Wasserman Schultz. Canova, who will be challenging the congressman again this year as an independent, sought the paper ballots in March of 2017, but he was forced to sue 3 months later after he said Snipes failed to comply with the request and wanted to charge $72,000 to sort and produce the records, Politico reported. The governor has the power to dismiss Snipes from office for malfeasance and misfeasance, Canova said. The judge also pointed to the supervisor's bad faith for continuing to litigate for months after admitting she destroyed the ballots, which will certainly run up the cost to taxpayers. They could care less. Snipes testified that the push to destroy the ballots, which she did in September, was a mistake. God, you can't even make this stuff up. Adding that the boxes were mislabeled. She said nothing on my part that was intentional, but the judge dismissed the argument, saying defendant's lack of intent to destroy evidence while this case was pending is irrelevant. We can't bring the ballots back, but there are consequences to violating the law, said Canova's attorney, Leonard Collins. There are provisions in the law that allow for criminal penalties for doing something like this, and B, allow Governor Rick Scott to suspend a records custodian for this. And we have a supervisor of elections in Broward who has shown complete malfeasance in terms of her ability to function and run and operate an office. In recent years, Snipe has faced a handful of controversies and lawsuits over her handling of elections and voter information. So it only makes sense that she would be affiliated with fellow criminal Debbie Wasserman Schultz. You know what they say about birds of a feather, but that's why Schultz had her there. Shortly after Friday's ruling, Governor Rick Scott's administration announced that Florida's Department of State will send election experts to the Broward Elections Office in the next election. During the upcoming election, the Department of State will send a Florida election expert from the Division of Elections to Supervisor Snipes' office to ensure that all laws are followed so the citizens of Broward County can have the efficient, properly run election they deserve. Governor Scott's office said in a written statement it's a bit too late for that now, though, seeing as Debbie's already been reelected. So why destroy those election records so hastily if there was nothing to hide? Clearly, there was something Debbie Wasserman Schultz and her team didn't want the court to know. Was it perhaps the fact that she didn't actually win that election against Tim Canova, fair and square, just like Hillary Clinton didn't win the primary election fair and square? I tell you, the Democrats are their own worst enemy. I wouldn't say that the Democrats in this case are their own worst enemy. No, they get what they want. They play dirty and they get what they want. Bottom line, there you have it. Yeah, when they go against Trump, yeah, they usually get the sucker punched. But in this case, like Canova said, she won. And who's going around town saying how come, what happened, her book, What Happened, going around and bitching about not winning the election when Bernie would have won over her hands down. It would have been an election against Bernie and Trump, not Hillary and Trump. I wonder if she mentions that in her book, that she wasn't even in the running, actually. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, doesn't it actually wind up that whole Trump-Russia thing was a hoax, actually, for the Russians to undermine Hillary Clinton? Really? She was already undermined, because had she not undermined Bernie Sanders, it would have been Trump against Bernie, not Trump against Hillary. You know? Think about it, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.